Already mentioned it, 3D Max versus Fnatic. Winner of that is straight in to playoffs. It's 3D Max with the lead over there on map 1, and Story taking leaps and bounds in towards the B bomb site. This is fast, and Fame needs to fall back.
Pressure already, and look how much they're pressuring them all the way back to that smoke as well. Ujerks has found Electronic, he's already found Norbert too, and the pace has completely caught out VP here. Suddenly, sAw are on one of their homes, and they look revitalized immediately. Fame doing his absolute damnedest to get at least some kill bonus, but that's probably going to be all. He's picked up the dualies. I think he will probably give it a look, actually. There's no reason to save the Kevlar now, as you can't buy the 350 helmet upgrade, so he'll try and get more kill rewards. But Roman dances around default, takes a lovely quick kill, and sAw get off to the start they needed to.
Yeah, and that's the pace. That's the initiative. Just running up the ramp, making sure that you are keeping VP locked out. It's the bouncers of Jerks and Story just preventing VP from any access into the B bomb site. So great start, and their reward is VP are straight away on an eco. They can now give a ramp a little bit of a limit test. They can see if there's going to be a stack anywhere, and there is, but it's on B.
Fame has a couple of flashes. Actually, interesting that he's committed to that rather than an upgraded pistol. Sometimes that can actually be more impactful than an instant one dig. Could maybe flush out one or two rather than just the one. Been swapped over to Jane, and they'll try and have a pounce toward ramp. Ujerks with the Mac 10, looking to try and farm up some money. He's got the support of Arazdos. The kills come through nicely. Roman's got a perfect timing on this lurk. Flit has no idea that he's there so soon. Bomb will be planted on B. And as long as sAw survive here with all 5 players alive, that's what they're going to want. But Jane gets it in the end. Nicely done. 4 is okay for sAw. Money built up early doors, which is very important, of course. VP onto the M4s. No money for the op yet, I don't think. So, maybe pure rifle work in the opening gun round for VP.
It's good game management there. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because, of course, VP won on pistols to force overpass over the line. So, I like the little recon mission from Jerks, just to scale up ramp as soon as the flashbangs come in. So they shake their heads. They want nothing to do with that, so they just go back to where Rostos found the opening. Take B for free, but here are the guns. Jerks is the only one on a bonus weapon. Electronic just lays down the law with the incendiary. Tries to find some gaps in the tarpaulin, and with Flip by his side, they actually want to disengage.
Jerks still on the Mac 10, so let's see if he can work his way up. He is absolutely doing exactly that. Already past the sandbags here. RVP ready. We've got multiple players jiggling it and actually playing it smartly. Electronic has an off angle. He has Flit's support. Actually hasn't gone too badly, that opening engagement. Jerks will take a significant amount of damage to the HE, of course, and there's more coming in. Damn. Down to 26 now. Electronic on the edge of that crane smoke. Doesn't need to go through that with a flash, and I say go through that with a flash. This now gets really curious because there are no flashes. There are no nades at all for VP. 35 seconds left in the round, and sAw a full execute. That could put pay to VP's chances. That's why they're trying to play aggressive. They're trying to double push gap perhaps, but Story stopped it. What a spray.
It's really smart. You just lead with the utility there. You just make sure that you cover all bases. The molly lands at the short side, which pushes them into that fight in towards gap, straight into the crosshair of Story. And you got no utility. There's no kit. It's a save out of VP. So sAw, they will grab that third round. And that's even with kind of our first sort of interaction over towards the A ramp. We wondered how Virtus.pro were going to approach it. It was very passive. They were just trying to smoke off and cordon sAw and completely burn seconds off the clock. So when they were forced into committing to that execute, they had to face with 2 or 3 players. sAw just made sure that that wasn't going to be the possibility. Denying these weapons is everything. Fame is fighting tooth and nail to hold on to his M4. And he should just about get away with it. 2 rifles saved is not the end of the world here for VP, but it's sAw who continue and just get 3 in a row. Flawless.
Yeah, and I think it's smart as well. They don't commit to the full hunt there. They keep themselves with 3 players alive, slowly bolster the money. VP caught, as you say. As soon as I saw that VP had no utility left and sAw could still execute upon them, well, and in the end, execute them, it was, yeah, I think that round only really had one outcome. Unless they somehow won the duels aggressing, like you said, toward Gap, forced into doing that. Not successful. I said Story on the AWP would be important to watch. Well, he's 5-1, and he's doing it through the rifle work at the moment. Flash coming in. That's a great way to start. Electronic takes the opening kill with that James support flash, but down to 11 HP, has to try and fall away. Flit is still here, trying to support. And Roman works his way out mid. There is a pistol in window to worry about.
Yeah, but as far as worries go, that's probably not at the top of the list. That's a really nice opportunity, but Electronic low HP is just gaining intel. Sure, he'll walk into that setup that Roman's been holding the entire time, but this allows still the flexibility of Norbert to help on B or from middle. That has pulled the A defense away, and for sAw, that gives them a lot of room to wiggle up Gap.
And wiggle, they will. Materis in position already. Oh, James making so much noise. He doesn't realize they're there yet, but of course he's got Flit's support. You can see in the midst of the jump spot, Flit saves his life pretty much. That's the setup that they had in place, working out. Bit spooky for James, but he gets away from it straight away. Smoke will come through, and now with 22 seconds left on the clock, sAw work their way up. VP have 3 players close by in Gap. They're going to try and win the duel straight up. They must assume there are still players behind that smoke, and they absolutely are. But James uses the corner of it beautifully. Fame making his way up. There's another frag that comes through from Materis and Arrows DOS. The timing on that is brilliant. James has a kit, but he's been spotted out. 1 versus 2. sAw have fought for this round, and they might get their just reward. James still around, but now tagged down to 52. They've got him locked in, and they're not letting him go. Down ramp, he will try to escape. He will just get away, but sAw, Brandon, have recovered that one superbly.
Yeah, it's really nice as well, and it's also just an element of keeping track which players are doing the damage on A, because as noted, there were a multitude of players from VP in towards Gap. As soon as that smoke comes down at 23 seconds, that's where they know they've got the space, because sAw it would be ballsy at best to push through that Gap smoke. So instead, by taking these fights, but notice how James gets the kill, and once these other defenders have been locked off that bomb site, sAw think, hang on a second, well, James got the kill, and he's now last alive. Where is he? He has to be over towards shore. That's why they're so certain about his position instantly. That's why I'm trying to get cheeky with it.
This is exactly the sAw that I wanted to see on their pick. For the first time in a good while, though, they will lose an opening frag. James pulls out the AWP, gets what he wants. That's you jerks out of the round. Molotov to clear white box. Fame. Pushed back, and now Flit will be pushed back as well. Nade coming through. Good reaction from Flit. I've seen some incredible ramp holds from him over various editions of this roster. He could be about to do it again. Oh, beautiful triple. That's going to set VP off and running. It's only Arrows DOS. Electronic finds him. And there we go.
That's a difference as well. As soon as the AWP's out in play, notice about how proactive James is. Finds the opener on towards Jerks, and from there, you've already got the advantage when fighting in towards a ramp. That's why Electronic starts to creep forward in towards Gap to help support Flit, because this means that James can now remain dynamic with this sniper and take it elsewhere. Really good hold from Flit. Just jumping, giving sAw pixels to work with, but at the same time, he's gaining all of the necessary information. This rifle work out on display in full force. Fame trying to scale down the stairs, but it's a Rostos that punishes Norbert up close instead. And he is able to trade it out, and Flitz found another on towards Story.
The timing on that was weird. And suddenly, VP back in the advantage again. Can Ujerks find a gun? I'm not sure he can. Only got the Tech 9 right now. Norbert boosted up on the mid box. Of course, there's been lots of chat about VP with electronic, but in CS2, Norbert has had one of the most impressive improvements from Go to CS2. He's been so critical for this team on so many occasions, in some difficult roles too, like B Vertigo, like we see here. Been very impressive, but this round might still be on Jame. Ujerks tries to make his way up. He gets removed. Jame in position, Materis trying to fake it out, trying to pick up the bomb. He's done exactly that. There are 2 Ujerkses on the HUD right now. That's why I was confused for a second, but don't worry, we'll sort that out for you. We might have had a player drop. Materis trying to do it all himself now. Double stack, CT, and spotted. 23 seconds. He may have the bomb picked up. This is going to be tough for him. Flit, over a little bit of a jump spot. Now there's a flank coming through, and they're playing this one to perfection, making sure they don't lose another player. And yes, that is round done. Ignore that spare Ujerks. That is one that doesn't exist. VP with 2.
Yeah, I feel like Harry said it best yesterday when he said that Norbert is the best esports player of all. So, I couldn't agree more. I feel like he's definitely. You said resurgence. I feel like his support rifling at the moment is some of the best, just in CS2.
Yeah, he's
just trying to see if the drop really affected things.
Yeah, it actually was really hard to tell.
Good.
Yeah. Maybe we've missed something there, but it was hard to figure out once I saw Jame kill Ujerks, and then suddenly there's another Ujerks on the screen. I was like, hello? But, yeah, we figured that out now. Quick fix in place, and go back underway. Unfortunately for sAw, they're back on an eco. It's good to see Flit having that moment for VP as well, right? I mean, it's only kind of the one time they've dealt with ramp, but yeah, having that triple kill was super important for his confidence, and we want to see him perform well. It's a good trade from Arasdos. Oh, okay. That's a second. Tech 9, pacey. Utility flying over. Will chip Roman down, but suddenly, Brandon, it's a 3v3, and Roman has got an M4 picked up, and so has Arasdos with the AK.
They haven't got armor though. That's the difficulty here for them. So as soon as they take one bullet, it's aim punch. That's why they got to take the fights on their terms. But Flit and Jame instantly answer back, and it's a fantastic retake from VP. Does look a little bit dicey, but ultimately the bomb down is the round basically all said and done there for sAw. They got what they wanted. Anything additional would have been an incredible bonus. So more money, which means that can potentially fund the AWP for Story. It can get the utility, but VP got to be a little bit careful here. The bait and switch gets undone by the Tech 9s up close, but as soon as it is that 3-on-3, they can all group together, and they've got the utility to set themselves up for success.
Yeah. And Arasdos once again proving to be the point man. Do some damage at least. Good attempt on a round with very low investment. The sweet rice was cooking yesterday. Individually, unfortunately, couldn't pull sAw to victory. See what he can do on Vertigo today. Jame, dancing with death around top, through yellow. Of course, small gaps through that portion of the map, and Story this time is the one to get the drop on him. The Story versus Jame fight is always very interesting, and this time Story has one to put in his column.
Look at how fast Jerk scaled off the back of that. Story will drop the utility, trying to force them into this fight again into Muteris, but that doesn't happen. There's another rotate immediately for VP, but Story can still undo this defense as he takes a peek around default, nearly the flick up towards headshot. But keep your eye on gap, because that's where Muteris found the space. Speaking of space, nearly sAw were enabled, and oh, hello. Hello, that's been noted, and suddenly Roman's found a kill on towards Flit. This one's back on. Electronics now in the smoke. VP are trying to get tricky with it.
I'm just saying what, because I genuinely don't know what's going on there. Just phasing smokes between the two of them. That is crazy. And they've recovered this into a 2 versus 2. And oh, I felt like that entry could have come through there for you, Jerks. But even though Story trades it, there is an immediate retrade from Fame. And VP, it's not been easy, but they are battling and getting results in these rounds.
I think it's really interesting just watching them, because again, with James Orp now coming into the equation for VP, they're getting a lot more proactive on towards this ramp. And you see how Electronic actually at the first instance of this round went all the way down yellow and then fell all the way back in towards gap, and that was trying to create a little timing window for the players to swing close, and then Jane would have punished on the angle. Instead it goes the other way. But despite that, VP are throwing so much chaos into that round with the double pushes through gap. Story manages to find one with the no scope, but then is overwhelmed. It's Electronic's off angle holding him over towards ramp. It was everything, because that just locks it in. And timeout being called now for sAw, not only to kind of get their finances in check, but just to have 30 seconds breather, because that round was a mess.
It was a little bit. Those gap angles can be a bit janky sometimes. But we're back even again. James wanted to be a little bit extra careful, I think, up against these Tech 9s. There is utility, of course, for sAw in this half investment this time. James will go for a swing. He's got 2 riflers and support. That's why he feels extra comfortable to go for it in the end. Arrows does, trying to catch a timing, but Flit saves his teammate. VP are starting to gain some momentum and gain some control back in this series again, or back in this map, I should say. sAw started quickly. This is going to be a round with all 5 players alive. James has free reign of ramp, and it's a nice triple.
Yeah, that one is just kind of a check the box sort of exercise in a round like that for the CT side, going up against the pistols. Just make sure you don't get overwhelmed. Make sure you get out of there with next to no casualties. And James just warming up. Since the rifles have come out, VP have been untouchable.
Yeah.
Not a conversation piece for sAw. And that defining factor is that AWP.
Yeah, you're spot on. 5 in a row for VP, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that nade. Arrows DOS down to 58. So bank the HEs off the girder to try and deal with a player playing white box, but no one there to receive it this time. Electronic, oh, he's taking deeper control down toward the bottom of ramp. That's a bit of a change up from VP. They were playing at the top, now they're pushing all the way down. Electronic finds his before he gets traded, but then that sets up James for another, and sAw kind of going one by one in toward ramp here. Muteris just wanders into Flit, and this is a bit too easy for VP.
Got to talk about why. What's the decision behind VP going aggressive there? It's because as soon as they saw 2 nades being invested, they knew that A was going to be a little bit less fortified down the base of the ramp. And the one thing they haven't shown, as you mentioned, was getting really aggressive, up close and personal with sAw. That's a good find at the very least, because that will keep a couple of players over at that A bomb site. You can see that Fame has now delegated his attention between 2 different angles. We'll hear the molly come in, we'll have a jiggle, and knows that he can retake with the squad.
Well, there's a glimmer of hope here for sAw. It is a gun round. It's not like they're in an afterplot with the pistols again, like we saw on B previously. Arosdos 58 HP, but VP can afford to take their time. Look at the utility they have. 2 Molotovs, well, an incendiary and a Molotov. The full belt, a couple of smokes, they've got kits, they've got an HE as well. This could just clear out everyone on sAw. Arasdos takes the brunt of it from 58 to 2 HP, but Roman still hits a big headshot. They're delaying the retake, though, for this flank, and James does find Roman, and there goes Arasdos. That looked like it was taking quite a long time for VP, but as you can see with that flank coming in, Brandon, that was actually just all planned.
I think it's just the timing of it as well. Like, James leaves the scaling up the stairs so long to the point where Roman's actually looked back and forth on it about 3 or 4 times. This is well done. This is really good mid-rounding from VP. Just taking the space back away from sAw. The fact that sAw even get it into a position where VP need to clutch in the first place is a real testament to them, because they are finding these gaps, especially on the extremities. It's just whether they can then future-proof it into that afterplant and convert it into a round success story. Something they were so good at doing in the early stages of this first half, but now suddenly it feels like every single round has been snatched and prized away from them at the hands of Virtus.pro.
Yeah, this streak is not to be sniffed at. So after that quick start, what I wanted to see, fortunately they've fallen by the wayside a bit. Mateus is 1-7. Struggling a little bit, but you know him as someone that even if he can have a slow game, he can step up for impact frags at any point during a series. So, oh, more aggression. I thought Fame was about to go a little bit faster towards stairs there and have an immediate fight, but not this time. Maybe it's sAw who will try and change up the pace a bit. We're going toward a fast B play, and it's going to work out for them. Roman's look in the mid works out because it's at a completely different timing, and he even makes his way through the window as well to deal with Fame. That's nicely done by sAw. But of course, VP have another retake to attempt here. Do they try it? They're not too far away, and they've got kits.
Definitely give it a look in. Really good pace change on this from sAw because you don't allow VP any opportunity to set up. I feel like with Flit, picking up that AWP to start with, they were going to save, but now they second guess. The time was already halfway gone here, boys. I'm not sure if you can really give this a go. I mean, there's plenty of utility, but you need to get past Story, and nades out for Electronic. That's the round all said and done. And it's hesitation and indecision there from VP.
Yeah, sAw break the VP streak off a bit of a VP just dawdling. Simple as that. Bit lackadaisical there from the retaking players. Couldn't decide exactly what they wanted to do because they're in a situation where they could buy next round anyway, and it's the last round of the half next round, of course, too. So I guess that's why they were second-guessing themselves, figuring out the money, but they could have definitely gone for that and been safe. And in the end, they kind of just wander in a bit aimlessly. But it helps sAw break the streak, and could be in for an even half here.
Here we go, Jerks. Back with the pace setting, back with the aggression. Flit not ready, but not punished, at least the first time of asking. But Jerks is here, and he arrives on this A-bomb site. They line up, though, for Norbert. And James also found Story. How was this turned back on its head after 2 clean entries? Saw her down the man.
That's crazy. We have a fast flank in Fame. He's made this work once already. And of course, Ujux is so low. He tries to phase the smoke to do something with this situation, but now Arasdos is stuck. He's been naded up. When does he even consider the flank, if at all? He's about to be stuck, and there's Fame. That is a bit unfortunate for sAw there, but a great recovery from VP. They're individuals stepping up when needed, and that double for Norbert. Make it a triple overall is incredibly impactful. They will secure a 7-5 on the first half of Vertigo. We'll see if they can close out this series 2-0 after a quick break.
Jesus, that's big.
Oh, wow. That is quite something.
Can you imagine playing with that?
Oh, surely that's not enjoyable.
Now that's a good size.
Yeah.
Nice and small.
Maybe not small enough.
Ladies, I couldn't help it over here. I think I may have exactly what you need.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead and show us?
Sure. I'll send it over. I call it the White Hammer.
Oh my god.
What the fuck, dude?
You're so disgusting.
What?
Who plays with a white crosshair?
Terrible visibility.
Let's play later. I'll show you.
I ain't going anywhere near that thing.
sAw put up a lot more of a fight here in the first half on the T side of Vertigo, but VP still put up a lot of resistance. 7-5 the current scoreline. And now it's VP to pose some questions on the attack and for sAw to put up a resolute defense if they want to send us to that third.
Yeah, I wanted a closer game. Thankfully, we've got it. But after sAw started 4-0, I think they'd be quite disappointed with losing the half 7-5. Some great individual performances from VP, notably that final round before we had our half-time switch. Norbert stepping up from connector once Hujo's got that 2K entry, and the elevator lineup for Norbert was beautiful. Okay, VP, the slight advantage into their T side. Utility on Fame and Jame, brought up by Electronic and dropped over, so Fame and Jame can still have Kevlar, of course. There's only one smoke and two flashes, so that indicates something very simple.
Oh, hello, Jerks. You've gone all the way down a ramp, which is pretty nice. So it means that this player can commit in towards elevator. This smoke's cool from Fame. This will land and block off the elevator sightline. Story won't be able to see in just a couple of seconds. And the flash is good. And Story tries with one of his own. But there you go. Vision completely obscured.
Oh.
Will try and come through the smoke anyway. And he deals with Flit. Immediate trade out from Jame. And Norbert's got space
really
in CT.
nice from Story. I know it's only one, but still, unfortunately, the question is, you Jerks, I was about to wonder if he was ready for that. And what a check that is. 3 versus 3, and Jerks and Arasdos still have the all-encompassing, terrifying dualies. 4 weapons making their way into position. But look at Norbert and Electronic playing off of each other's contact. This is going to be dirty. Norbert finds one. Immediate trade, not immediate from Electronic. Playing with the burst fires, getting a bit spooky now. Bomb is ticking away. They've got the kill, but now they need to hold it. And Jame, actually, it's not planted for him. What a weird position he's in. He's going to have to rush his way in here. Needs the immediate kill, but Materis, I mentioned, impact frags. He can turn up at the right time, and he gets a triple right at that right time.
Yeah, well done. VP, they actually make every single correct decision until the afterplant. James out gap. I think he wants to cut off Jerks' rotation back from B after this kill was found by him on the dual elites. But yeah, Crossfire just shut down instantaneously by Muteris, and that's everything. And from James not spotting Jerks, I think the timing just slightly eludes him. It's just not planted for him. So nearly everything perfect, but the retake sublime from sAw. A necessary pistol, but it will be that force back in from VP.
These rounds have a scary success rate on this second round force buy, and look at that, poor old U-Jerks tries to find a line above that smoke, but Flit and Fame, how many times have they done that over their careers on VP and overall on this map? Arasdos will try and shoulder peek for info, and he gets his incendiary down on time, but they're actually going to choose to go straight through this one, VP, and take it quickly. Arasdos needs a couple of kills here. He's going to have help from Materis, and then Story's in on the action too very quickly. Look at how fast the rotation is from sAw. VP are going to have to fight for this one. It's a 3v1. They are fighting for this one, and they fought for it successfully. Story's doing really well. He's got 2 with the USP, but now this is borderline impossible, and Flit just happy to hold the line, not committing to the plant when he doesn't need to. You know, he has a huge, knew he had a huge advantage with the health, and VP just squeak it.
Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. Electronic looking down the line, just kind of reassessing the situation there, because that got a little bit clumsy. Story was nearly having another breathtaking clutch. We saw it on Inferno yesterday with that no armor P250 collection downwind on those players at long, and this time here, this feels like a lock-in, and it really shouldn't be, as chaotic as it is, but Fame swinging a little bit disjointed, trying to play off the contact to James, and Flit was nowhere near ready to strike and guarantee it. But sweat wiped off the brow for VP, because they will answer back instantaneously. And this is probably the worst case scenario now for a CT side economy, because you invest into this, if you lose it, you've got absolutely nothing, and suddenly VP are on double digits.
Not wrong. This is now a very tough situation for sAw. The game might live and die off the back of this force buy, to be honest. VP will have a comfortable gap, as you say, if sAw can't convert. The force buy wars begin. Back and forth until someone wins 2 in a row, of course, as usually the meta dictates. The only utility that sAw have left is a smoke and nade on U-Jerks, and already that smoke has been used. VP playing as a pack to take B stairs.
Shouldn't be too complicated here. You just smoke off either side of the generator, you flood flashes just as a chain reaction to get you involved in the fight. Arasdos, that's a good start, but Story gets spammed out. And suddenly, where it looks like it's posing a problem, completely fades away into nothing. Nice try. And VP are even done with the excursion towards B. They reset and through Jane bring the bomb back up towards A. And look at that timing. Jerks considers gap at the same time. Flit slides over on the right-hand side of sight. So if Jerks jumps up here, he's probably a dead man walking.
Yeah, he'll show his presence. They're all going to be here pretty quickly, but with Flit taking Materis, only 2 left. Roman does really well to deny the plant, actually, trying to do more with the 5-7, and honestly, that's a super nice try, but it was never going to come about, considering how many players VP still had in position to trade, and now sAw in a rough spot. The full eco has to come through, and VP should be able to make their way up to 10. Always frustrating for Story. We're going to see it here, I think. There it is. You think you've got yourself into a decent position, and then in that particular position, the spam just ruins your dreams.
They have made it expensive, though, to the point where, obviously, Flit and James, this is a strategic choice. They know the economy is completely broken for sAw, so they want to farm up some extra cash. So they've gone down to, again, the UMP and the MAC-10. So this is a good financial investment from VP. Not a financial advisor, but it seems like a pretty good move. James, wanting 600, gets zilch.
Okay, time for the UMP to step up. It only gets one and damage. The USPs and picked up weapons are rushing them down, but it's dealt with nicely by Electronic and Fame. Whereas DOS has a P2000, and that is unceremoniously put to the floor by Electronic. Electronic is doing his job very nicely in this series for VP. It's not like a pickup where you expect him to be a star player like the good old days. It's just a pickup where you want him to be an improvement, be a step up from Mia. And maybe yesterday they may have lost, but this is looking a lot cleaner today. As a unit, especially.
That's a little bit of an oopsie there. Right at the very end of the round, Electronic picked up a Mac 10.
Yes.
So that's a rebuy in AK. I feel like this scoreline, especially on Vertigo, really doesn't do this game justice, because sAw have been doing a lot of damage, considering they've been working with the bare bones for a lot of these rounds on the CT side. They've been really creating a conversation piece to every single one of these rounds, and VP, they've been bailing each other out, sure. And I feel like that's why this pause has come in from Dastan, just to have 30 seconds, just take a breather, not necessarily change anything that you're doing, but just kind of tighten up the ship a little bit, because these rounds have been getting probably scarily close compared to what Jame and the gang would want it to be.
Exactly. Still, sAw are no slouches. Of course, they are here as a late replacement for Cloud9. But sadly, they haven't been able to avoid Electronic. Jame will take a pot shot and fall back away. Roman spamming the smokes, looking for something. But VP will try and do their classic show presence on ramp. It is kind of the mainstay strategy of Vertigo. And sAw have to find a way to answer back in the mid-round. Can't just afford to sit back behind those smokes and let yourself be executed upon by the utility. And by then a plant, and Flit, all his lurk could be pretty impactful here. Thankfully there is a re-smoke toward Gap, and that will ward him away from being a bit cheeky with that one. Fame, as DOS, nice little tag, and now they will work their way in toward B. Oh. Oh, they actually fake it to begin with. That gives Jame a glimmer of hope. It's still very difficult. They're going to be launching their way at him, and yes, that's exactly how you should play it. I would have understood if they rushed him and made sure he didn't get the plant, but that is the second best option, if not the first best option. And made sure that they kept 3 players alive. sAw still in this one. The gap is only 3. You mentioned it earlier, Brandon. ML12, maps of CS2 can absolutely stay in touch for a lot longer than it feels like. Flit almost advanced for the second. If he took Roman 2, that would have been a round opener and a round changer. Just a millimeter off getting that, and sAw then converged on Jame nicely. Following round 18. Seems like I've just lost Brandon for a second. Hopefully we'll get him back with you in a moment. But for now, don't worry. I've got you. Story will miss his shot in toward mid. Down to 13 HP. But already they do have that opening onto Flit, thanks to Roman. And all these opening frags now for sAw are precious. his way up. Not exactly going quietly about this. Brandon, are you with me? Lovely. Arazos under pressure. Oof. Does well to get one. One keeps the man advantage intact, and that just doubles it down nicely. Norbert tries to work his way through that gap smoke. Gets put down, and Story is still being a bit of a nuisance here. Oh, he's denied. I say denied the plot. He's actually not managed that, but it doesn't matter. He still takes the kill. That was very, very cheeky from Story, considering he was so low. But well dealt with by sAw. The bomb plant will help VP, but hang on. It's getting close again.
sAw are doing a really good job at just waiting and not biting on all of the little sort of puzzles that VP are throwing at them in these rounds. They're not immediately rotating. They're not immediately sending an extra player over to reinforce. Instead, they're using a trade-off of utility, but at the same time, it's inherently working because they're keeping all of their pieces just tucked in, ready and raring to fight. Even a Rosdos who gets mollied out of quad still takes one to the grave with him, and that's so valuable, because it does buy time, ultimately, for the players to get into positions where they can lock things off and just make sure that Virtus.pro can't really get their plan formulated quickly enough. Pause coming out again. Bit of a dejected expression on Dastan's face, but there's a little bit of emotion there right at the tail end, just saying, come on.
I can't remember the last time I saw Dastan smile, to be honest. Yeah, lots of VP players are often very stony-faced, aren't they? I think often it's Norbert, the one to show a lot of the emotion. I think it was in Kato we saw kind of an unusual amount of kind of tilt, actually, from the likes of James. Usually he's just so calm, so relaxed. Maybe there's a certain routine he didn't put into place. I think some of you may know what I'm on about. Electronic working his way up ramp. He's looking for the opening kill. And Roman will go down. This now makes it very interesting. Electronic is the point man in this round. They've got the pistols to surround it. And after he's done his job, he swaps everything to James. He's still got Kevlar as well.
That's a really clever way to get an entry, and then just the immediate retreat. But Materius, look at this. He's got a lot of space. Electronic goes wide, and that sets up James. In fact, it's Fame, the one that's got it. It's just the letters. What do they mean? Immediate trade is really good, and there's potential for them to go and find another weapon. They've done exactly that. Now Norbert's got one, and they go back to B, and hey, guess what? It's completely open for business.
Oh, sAw. There is a chance here for VP to make something happen with this. Do they want to call it back? James will obviously be relaying all this information. Does he just wait on default? I think he does. They are running back now, but Arazdos is going to be here pretty quickly. If he can clear out James, then this will be stopped pretty quickly. Trying to play with the angle. This is absolutely perfect from James at the moment. It will bait in Fame with the AK. They've found that other gun on Norbert as well, and now it's going to be so difficult for sAw. The teamwork from VP is so good, but now 7 seconds. Ujux is hiding in the smoke. He's actually going to try the plant his Fame. This is so awkward. 1 second, he's got it down, and he has a chance to win the clutch. How have VP got away with that one?
I didn't think they had time. I thought that the bomb being so far thrown forward in towards Jen, there was not enough time to plant that bomb. But no, instead, there is a millisecond of opportunity, and VP sees it with James' sticky hands. I thought Jack's done everything here. The fact that the bomb's thrown forward, by the way, is because the direction that you're facing. Wait, it wasn't even. It was just on the site. Why did Fame jump up? He tried to bait out that he was not there, maybe.
Yeah, I think he was caught in between two minds of perhaps going for the kill to finish the round or the plant. And then maybe the call came through as well that Jerks is so low. Changed his mind on the decision in that late round tough situation. There are so many mind games that can go on in that sort of hard to judge circumstance. And well, off the back of it, the next round is well underway. Brawl into a B. Look at the damage done. Somehow, so I've got away with a 3 versus 2 here and make that a 2 versus 1. Jame now in a clutch again, but only 17 HP, hits the flick up, but the immediate trade from Story and sAw stay in touch.
Everything from a Rostos. That second shot on towards default was almost instantaneous. And these B skirmishes have always been so back and forth. There's been going blow for blow on this B bomb site. And you feel like Norbert's done enough when it comes to the damage, but it's a Rostos with the double deeks. Locking that one in for sAw, making sure that they stay afloat because their money was on breaking point. This time the shoe's on the other foot, and VP are once again working with limited weaponry.
What a game. What a back and forth situation we found ourselves in. Flit, oh, he goes straight into the Story AWP, trying to take initiative immediately with one of those guns and gets denied. I think we're going to be thinking about that round for U-Jerks against Fame, where Fame scrambled for the plant. It's so ballsy. I'm going to be remembering that one for a while, and it might not even change the game. sAw still intact, still in touch. Just need to deal with this one comfortably now. 4 players remaining. Again, it's 3 pistols and 1 AK-47. Good timing on the Molotov from U-Jerks. Allows rotations to come through comfortably. And that Molotov will actually force Electronic further forward. It splits him and Fame up.
A lot of utility they got out of this, though. To the point where they can actually execute. Jame and Electronica have still got smokes. In fact, there's just a whole collection of U2 on VP. 40 seconds left. Electronic just ebbs his way a little bit closer towards Jerks. There's no counter utility that can stop this. With Electronic just decapitating Jerks. He goes around the corner on a Tech 9. A lot of damage towards Roman. And now potentially VP can swing. sAw wants to get ahead of this. And with a singular flashbang, they've done it. Muteris holds the line. Fame. With 15 seconds left, this one is surely written off. sAw. My, oh my. That's the correct decision. Getting right ahead of that utility before VP can even plant. It's a retake before it's even a retake.
Completely agree with you. sAw need to be the one to be assertive. And you can tell they're getting a little bit into it now. All incredibly focused. Knowing there's a great opportunity here. VP have shown frailties. Lost their last 5 in a row, of course, dating back to the beginning of the year. And again, in the following round. Brandon, what am I looking at on VP side right now? This is the weirdest purchase. I know they've got a good loss bonus, but this is a very strange purchase. Fame with a hero AK, just Kevlar, Electronic P250 Kevlar, Jame full armor, full utility with a P250. I know they'll have something next round, but they're failing the boost as well. That means a lot of noise is being translated over to sAw. Arrowsdos will pounce. Well, I'm confuzzled, mate.
Look, the Fame one's justified because he saved it. So he's just bought around it.
Why have they bought around it so much, though? That's the point.
I don't know. I don't know why James invested fully. Maybe they thought they could make it work because that's what happened on the previous. I really like this from a Rostos because he gets ahead of the smoke, but instantaneously traded out. A lot of damage, though. Look, Jame and Fame are battered and bruised. And Norbert, the only one with health, doesn't have Kevlar. 50 seconds. So they want to shove it back in towards B. That would be the right decision. But sAw are making a really good mid-round play. They are walking in towards middle. They are taking all of this space away from VP.
Wow.
And as Jame climbs the stairs, he's missed the timing because Muteris is now down the ladder. They're on a quick flank.
This is so well played from sAw. They should be able to deal with this one comfortably. They've got HEs in play as well. Norbert's down to 72. And there's the kill from U-Jerks. Listen, I understand buying around a saved AK, but...
Yeah, the level of investment was...
The level of investment is questionable. And Muteris is here. I mean, he can just deny it all. They're trying to save it, but Muteris has put an end to all of it. And we mentioned the money. It's 11 all. Fame has 2,700 because, of course, he's had to save and hasn't got loss bonus in that one of those previous rounds. And James got 2,400. What is this from VP?
I'm gonna have to save. Like, I don't think you play for the map win here. I think you play for overtime because it's now 11-11 and a huge decision needs to be made. They use their final timeout to talk about things, try and get them back on track. It felt like they were in control, and very much similar to that game against FlyQuest in Chengdu. They've let it slip. sAw have been playing spectacularly. I've been really impressed with the mid-round they've been putting together. Just the little variances of Rostos going close in the mid-round ahead of the utility that's being thrown down by another player to try and mask his position. And also VP in that round didn't see the double push in mid with the AWP. So that's something that sAw can just run back.
Yeah, I mean...
They bought a hero rifle. James bought a hero rifle.
Oh my goodness.
They don't want to play for OT.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We'll probably be sitting here in maybe a minute's time with the Tech-9s and 2 AKs somehow having come out on top, and we'll be made to look stupid. But if there's anyone watching, which there are a lot of you, I think 23,000 right now, I'd say don't try this at home. But that could work out nicely. A boost. Now that could just set it up. They're going to play off pure contact. And maybe the 2 AKs is all they need. Fame's done a brilliant job, but Story is here. There is utility, of course, available to block him off as well. He's already shown his presence. He's taken another pot shot. He's playing really close range, and a no-scope is not going to work from there. Maybe it just works anyway. James found the AWP. What do we know, huh? What do we know, Brandon?
Actually, I'm gonna say hindsight's 2020 here. This is actually a very good decision. And no. Not the fact that they won the round. Think about the implications of this for sAw. Think about what they're going to be left with. Look at Tiris's money. Look at Arostos's money. It's terrible. VP, by doing this and making this decision, have literally min-maxed it to the extreme that you could even call it edging, to the point where sAw are going to be in trouble. Take a look at the bank balances of Mutiris and Arostos once this bomb explodes, because I tell you, it's not going to be pretty viewing.
Terrorists win.
Yeah. They can get... well, UJX can drop one, and they can buy 2 inputs. It's not awful, but it's not perfect. Well, I mean, the boost toward B, we know how powerful that is, and VP throw it into the action at exactly the right time. But yeah, I mean, it very weird economic decisions. Doesn't matter if you hit your shots with the guns you have available, right?
Also, no warp for now for Story. And that's been something that's been getting sAw online in a lot of this, because he's been really operating as more of like a turret, and he's been freeing up the rifles to be a bit more flexible. That can't really happen now.
Yeah, actually sets up VP for the 2-0. Match point incoming. Can sAw take us to overtime? Ruin playing aggressive. Oh, that's a bit scary. UJX having to fight. He's out of bullets. Has to fall away. Roman happy to actually fight directly on top of default. Couldn't be more in the open if he tried.
Hello.
Oh, Mutiris is being watched by Norbert. That's so frustrating for him, I'm sure. 5v4 for VP. No ladder flank for sAw. Minute to go. And VP are constricting their prey right now.
They are, but at the same time, sAw's making the right read. They're just going to gamble that it's A. They've rotated the third player over. It's actually Story that flexes to be the third line of defense. So, oh no, he's been walking away. Still, you've got to get past sandbags. And if you don't molly it, because you're playing on pure contact, that could be pretty decent. However, they're going to molly it. So now Roman, forced in the open, would need a multi, and only finds the first. Bomb site cracked open. This could be the beginning of the end. sAw could be denied overtime here and lose the series 2-0. Great nade, but it doesn't finish the job on towards Fame. And Rostos is just trying to scramble the rest of his teammates through all this utility, through the firing line, but it's Jerks that will do with Electronic. A 3-on-3. Norbert, Fame, incredibly low, and that's why Fame is on the AWP. But maybe that's why he shouldn't AWP. A missed shot. Oh, but that's a great one as well. They get off the bomb. There's still time to do this. Another fake out. But a disciplined approach. VP don't swing until the perfect moment, and Norbert locks it in. sAw overtime, comeback denied, and it's VP that win 2-0 and send the Portuguese squad to the last chance qualifier.
Goodness me. Well, that's probably the most Virtus.pro way to win the match, isn't it? I mean, you know how comfortable the first map was, but map 2, I mean...